Good morning, everyone. This is Uncle TJ. Welcome back to my kitchen. And you all probably already saw the thumbnail about what we're doing today. We're doing Betty Crocker pancakes. This really takes me back to my childhood. The reason being is because when this was the first thing that I ever cooked. And I was about 6 years old in Culver City, California at the time. And my mom had a 3-ring binder of Betty Crocker recipes, Betty Crocker cookbook. And just out of my curiosity, I'm like, what is this? So I opened it up and looked through it. There's a lot of different recipes and pictures, of course. And the thing that caught my eye, because I love them so much, were pancakes. And so me, out of my curiosity, just started putting the ingredients together and things of that nature. I started putting the ingredients together, and it just came together. And it was my first one. Now, one of the ingredients was shortening. And I have that ingredient here, but we didn't have microwaves back then. I'm kind of dating myself, looking at around about 1976, 1977. And I used to have to use the cast iron skillet, which is what we're going to be making our pancakes in today. And I had to melt the shortening that way because this recipe calls for melted shortening, and I want to stay true to the recipe as much as actually everything is true to the recipe. So that's what I'm doing today for you guys. So we're going to go ahead and put this thing together. This started my journey of cooking and my love of cooking. It came during a time that was probably not real good. But you know what? God has a way of giving you things that will give you peace in the midst of the storm. Am I right about it? I wonder if I'm right about it. So we have our ingredients here. So we're going to go ahead and go over our ingredients. We have a cup of buttermilk. We have 1 cup of all-purpose flour. We have it's starting hard. Now I got to put this in the microwave for a little bit. Let me do that now while I'm here, because we're going to go ahead and get rolling with this thing here. And so, there we go. So we got the 2 tablespoons of shortening. We have a half a teaspoon of baking powder. We have 1 tablespoon of sugar. We have a half a tablespoon of salt, and we have 1 egg that we're going to whisk together. Now, you may ask Uncle TJ, where is the extract? You don't need extract in this. You don't need extract in this at all. You will need your favorite syrup, which in this case I'm using Miss Pearl, aka Aunt Jemima. You will need some neutral oil, such as vegetable oil or canola oil. Some people use coconut oil, but the neutral oils don't put a flavor on it. But for me, what it does, it kind of puts a little bit of a buttery, that's just me, maybe it's just me, a buttery flavor on it, but that's just me. And what it also does, it nicely crisps your edges. So this recipe is fantastic. We're going to go ahead and put this together right now. So let's go ahead and get this thing started. All right, so this is real simple. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and whisk up our egg. Whisk that up real good. Real simple. This recipe is really, really, really simple. So we're going to go ahead and put that in our bowl, and we're just going to combine everything. Put in our cup of flour. Going to go ahead and put in our 2 teaspoons of shortening. You can use regular or butter flavor, it does not matter, whatever you want to do. And then if you microwave it on about maybe a minute or a minute and 30 seconds to actually a minute to just melt this shortening. This is our baking powder, our sugar, our salt, and then our buttermilk. Okay? So all we're gonna do is just take a wire whisk, or you can use a bowl, a spoon, and just combine that all together. Just be careful. It will come together. If you want thinner pancakes, eyeball it and put a little bit more buttermilk in there. If you want to use regular milk, you can use regular milk because it is baking powder, and so it doesn't need an acid to activate it to make your pancakes rise. All right, so we're going to go ahead and make a couple of these. We've got this here. We want to make sure that we don't have any pockets of any baking powder or flour. We want to make sure that everything is well combined. Make sure you have no lumps. That's why I recommend a wire whisk. If you don't have a wire whisk, then use a good fork. Okay. All right. So we're going to go over to our skillet now. All right. So we have our skillet on medium, and we don't want it to be real hot because we don't want it to scorch our pancakes. So we're going to go ahead and ladle this on in here. There it is. Yes. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit more on that. There we go. Y'all can probably hear that sizzling. So I'm going to swirl this around a little bit because I want those edges to be real nice. So what we want to do is let this cook. Again, you can always adjust your temperature and turn up just a little bit. The first one is always going to be the challenging one here. So we're going to go ahead and just move it up a little bit, get in the picture. Build a little bit challenging. You'll know that it is cooking. Oh, where did it go? Okay, here we go. Choose this. So you'll know when it's coming to be done, when you start to see the bubbles coming up inside the pancake and whatnot. You can also lift up the sides to see how it's cooking. I'm satisfied with the way that it looks now because I don't want it to burn. So we're going to go ahead and do this TJ flip. There it is. So I don't like my pancake to be burnt or anything like that. So when I saw that it was brown like this underneath, I didn't wait for the bubbles to come up. So I went ahead and flipped it because I want it to cook evenly. Now, if your butter is kind of cold, real cold, that's fine. Your pancakes will melt it. So don't worry about all that there. I'd use butter on my pancakes, all that good stuff. So this is what we do. So I don't know if you all, this is real simple. You saw the ingredients that I put in there. It does not take a lot or anything like that. This could have actually stayed flipped over a little bit longer, but turn this heat up just a tad. You don't want to turn it up too high because again, you don't want this thing here to burn. It does not set a real good taste and whatnot. When it's just brown, like you saw on the other side, and I'm going to flip it over because I want this here to brown just a little bit more and whatnot. And the only reason I'm picking it up and moving around is because the grease has moved away from the pancake itself. So we're going to flip this back over because again, I want that to, and this is done, although it looks white, it's white on the inside. So it's done. I want to make that other side brown as well. And so another way that you can tell it's starting to rise. That's that baking powder in it affecting it, and it's interacting with the sugar. And so it's rising. That's what makes your pancake rise. You need a leavening agent in it to help it to rise. Okay. All right. So that one is done. That's good for me right there. And what I like to do when it's sitting there waiting on me to do the other things, I always put like a slice of butter on it. Now this butter's been in the freezer, guys, so that's why it's a little bit harder to do. Okay, and I'm gonna show you a trick here. If your butter is real cold, you'll notice I rearranged my oil there. Go ahead and ladle this on in there. If you don't have a ladle, just use a spoon or just pour it, but be very, very careful with doing that. All right. So we're gonna make a stack of pancakes. Take your time. Remember, whenever you are cooking, take your time. Although you don't have to be in a rush. If you're in a rush, you're gonna overcook these things. You can really mess these up if you're not, and even if you're doing the pancake mix, you can really mess it up if you're in a hurry. If you're in a hurry, go ahead and put some pancakes in the toaster if that's what you've been doing up until now, and just go that route. All right. So this bad boy here, and there's not a whole lot of smell. There's the smells of the kitchen in here. But it doesn't have a whole lot of smell or whatever the case may be. But hey, this is a very, very easy recipe. You can always go back to my channel, look it up and say, I wonder what Uncle TJ said. So I want those edges to brown. You notice, see, they started sizzling when I rearranged the oil. Again, don't have my stove right now is just a little past medium. It's just a little past medium. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and flip this. There it is, just that simple. If you have a regular skillet, that's fine. What's gonna make it not stick is you having the right amount of oil in there. So it depends on the size skillet that you use. So what you wanna do, and what I do, and maybe people agree or disagree, you do how you do, but I like to just make sure that there's a layer of oil coating the entire skillet or pan or whatever you have, okay? So, and be careful with these non-stick pans. If you have them all scratched up and the metal is showing, it's really time to get rid of those. Those are dangerous. Those are not good for your health. You're ingesting stuff that you really shouldn't be ingesting, okay? So Uncle TJ wants you all to be safe. And remember, you're not the only one who's eating. And if you are the only one who's eating, then you're not the only one who's depending on you to stay healthy and alive, because we need you for us. Yeah. There we go. So this is how, I'm gonna show you a little trick here. Once I flip this back over, I'm gonna go ahead and slice this frozen butter. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and just place that there. See, the other side wasn't fully done, as you all saw. And see, now what it's doing is starting to melt that butter. It'll start to melt. It'll melt it far enough for me to whereas when I'm done with it and I put it on this stack, they'll use each other's heat, and you'll see. So there it is. It's already starting to melt. Sorry about that, guys. I had lost my feed, so I just had to do some adjustments there, and hopefully we didn't lose much footage. So again, just take your time doing this and whatnot. And again, this is a recipe that I learned as a child. I was self-taught. Just open up the cookbook and learn. That's all I did. And so there's my stack of pancakes. We're gonna go ahead and turn the oven off. I'm gonna go ahead and move all this out of the way. And we'll be right back to you once we get everything situated. All right, guys, we're back. Here's how they came out. Don't use frozen butter, guys. Like it doesn't work. I've never used frozen butter. I freeze my butter for my cakes because I don't make them all the time. But Here it is, but that's the butter. So I want you all to see how flaky these are, how beautiful they are. And they're very, very tender and moist. Okay, just give you all a taste. Give you all a taste. There it is. Uh-oh, there we go. There it is. You see that? See how it still got steam coming out of it? Wow. That's delicious right there, guys. That's what's up. So I hope that this helped you all today. I hope that you all try this. It's very, very, very easy to do. And it doesn't, why do, okay. Okay, I don't have it plugged in, no wonder. No light. So I hope that you all try this. It's very, very easy to do. And you know, it doesn't take long, as you all can see. This is a very short video. I want you all to see how easy this is. Listen, you all be blessed. Take your time in cooking. Take time for one another. Love on yourself. Self-love is important because it is the barometer in which how we love other people, or are supposed to love other people, okay? You all take care, and I'll see you all on my next video. Take care now.